Hey y'all, what's going on? This is your girl Shantini Langston, better known as Advice Podcast. We are going to recap on what we did a couple months back. But before I get into that, I want to stop and say, as you can see, my background has changed. I actually about a month or so ago, and I've been doing a lot of things in the silence, and so I am so glad that everything is coming into fruition because when you start operating in silence, man, the floodgates begin to open. So I want to say thank you so much for just being patient with me because it's been a lot going on behind the scenes. And so there's so much that's going to happen going forward. Listen, let me just back up a little bit about the podcast that we did a couple months ago space. And so I want to try to give you guys a couple videos just to help you to navigate the basics that we are missing in our relationships. And so communication is the number one issue that we're having in our relationships, personally and professionally. And so I believe in the first segment, we talked about active listening and the becoming the master of active listening is going to help you be able to comprehend what the other person is trying to convey in their message. But if you are not looking to comprehend or listen effectively, guess what? You're not going to be a good communicator. And so I want you to think about that as we get into the next part. This next part that we're going to talk about briefly is about becoming a pro at nonverbal cues. As a teacher by day, y'all know I'm a teacher. I am good at nonverbal, especially with my kids, my students. So if you are a parent, especially a Black parent, no offense to anyone else, but or you have the culture, my people of color who may have those nonverbal gestures, and your kids know what they are, and adults do too. We know when we getting too rough, we gotta pull back because they're showing it in their posture, in their body language. So we're gonna get into that right now. So let me bring my screen to small. Let me shrink myself so you guys can see. So yes, you all know I'm redefining relationships one connection at a time. And so let's talk about this one question right here. What do you think your body language says about you? I want you to think about that right now. How are you sitting? Are you sitting tall? Are you sitting with your face forward? Are you relaxed or are you tense? Are you finding yourself feeling nervous? Again, when you're out in public, are you looking down? I want you to be aware. We're not aware about what we're doing and how we're doing things. We always saying, "Oh man, don't want to deal with me, and I don't know why I'm not being found." Look at your body language. Is it inviting? Okay, because let me tell you the next part. 93% of the time, you all, our communication is nonverbal. It is. It's way more than us talking. You know, the old saying goes, we have two eyes, right? So done with nonverbals. So now I want you to reflect and ask yourself, are you aware of what you're communicating with your body? Ooh, these are the things that we do not take the time out to look at and view. But these things help us in how we communicate and convey messages. So let's dive a little deeper into this. So we're going to talk about the what, the why, and the how of nonverbal communication. So what is nonverbal communication? So it includes gestures, facial expressions, posture, tone, and other forms of unspoken communication that conveys meaning. So these are the five major areas for nonverbal cues. And so facial expressions, child, I am the worst at facial expressions. People look at me to see if I'm going to respond, but I always respond with my face, and I got to be mindful of what my face look like sometimes. It's a blessing and a curse. So I try my best now to be just a little more graceful and poised, especially when it's something that's very weird, I don't agree with. I gotta be mindful about my face. So again, being more aware is important with that. Gesture too, body language, body movements. You know, in court, the judge be looking. If you looking crazy, you're gonna be out. So again, posture, eye contact. Very, very important. Having good eye contact. Because when you have eye contact, people know that you are present. You see them. You are aware. Okay. In tone of voice. Do you talk fast? I know I talk fast, but because I've been on my healing journey, I've learned to reserve. I'm more reserved now in how I deliver. So even this message right now, I'm taking my time and sharing because, listen, what we're learning, what we're unlearning, it takes time to digest. There's levels and layers to basics of relationships. All right. So I'm going to not go too far. So here again, these are the 8 components of nonverbal communication, gestures, again, eye contact, physical distance, okay, facial expressions, posture, appearance, touch, paralanguage. So again, how to do this effectively. You know, how you avoid physical touch. I know I do. There are people who just naturally have to touch you to make sure you are in agreement with them. You know, because there are people who their love language is physical touch, and not in a sexual way. There are people who actually like to touch people in real time, and that is okay because that's a sense of connection. All right. So again, nonverbal cues speaks way louder than words. Again, action speaks louder than words, period. Okay, fast on you. Let me go back. All right, so here's the how. Here are the steps to improve your nonverbal communication. Not my number one love language, okay? But I have to understand that whoever I'm going to be with, I need to be aware of them. So being aware of where I am and the areas I can work on is vital. So understand that you have to work on areas that you may not be comfortable in. And that is okay because you have to give yourself the grace to learn. Like I tell my students, give yourself the grace to learn, to unlearn poor behaviors so that you can have better relationships. Okay. All right. Step 1, observe, pay attention to your own body language in various scenarios. Very, very important. You know you're going out, prepare your mind. All right. Okay. I got to be cool. Your posture, all the things. You don't want to be going in there with the stank attitude. You want to, again, prepare yourself to be pleasant. All right. So that's real. Step 2, online. Ensure your nonverbal cues match your verbal message. Okay. Very important. Step 3, engage. Use eye contact, like I said earlier. Facial expressions show attentiveness. So you engaging, you're having a conversation, you're scanning the room as you're having a conversation. It does show a sense of confidence. Okay. Even me now looking at the camera, looking at you. Again, sense of confidence in what I am conveying to you, right? Step 4, mirror. Subliminally mimic the other person's body language to build rapport. So if you see that they're open, you be open. If they are relaxed, you be relaxed. Okay, you don't have to be tensed up all the time. If again, maybe practice in the mirror how you want to be, because again, you're not trying to be nothing, nobody else. You're being yourself, but you want to be more comfortable and confident and poised in who you are. Okay, and then of course, 5, adjust your tone, your posture, gestures based on the context and audience that you are in front of are present. That is the key, you all. When you're in a place you may not be familiar with, be present. Get to know the environment. Okay, the more comfortable you become in like getting to know people in a space, man, you'll be more confident and comfortable in just expressing who you are and be unapologetic about it. All right. So that's the how. So here's a few role plays. Here's a role play scenario I'm gonna play for you. Really well, play for you, but actually talk about in a and then we're going to move on. So let's talk about a job interview. So I'm really excited about this opportunity. And then the now in the chair, fidgets with a pen. The perception is the interviewer may interpret the candidate as disinterested or lacking confidence despite their words. So they're excited about the opportunity, but yet their nonverbal is showing no, they're not really, they're here, but they're not present. So is this a conflict? Is this conflicting, or is this in alignment to communication? In this interview, it's clear that this person is conflicted and they may not want the job. So the interviewer is not going to hire them based on their nonverbal. Again, action speaks louder than words. Okay, and then here's number two. Here's the romantic one. Now, y'all ladies who trying to figure out, well, how can I be romantic in the nonverbals? Here's one. Verbal. Here's the verbal. I'm sorry for hurting your feelings. This is someone who's talking to the person who's been offended. The nonverbal cue is arms are crossed, tone of voice is flat, avoids looking at the partner. And so the perception of the partner who's receiving this apology feels that the apology is insincere and dismissive, because again, the offender is not being sincere. They're not showing why they are sorry. So I'm big on apologies with my students. Because you don't mean it. I don't want you to say you're sorry because I'm making you do it. No. You're going to sit with it, deal with it, come back, and let me know why you're sorry and what you're going to do to fix this so that it won't happen again. So again, having the conversation is one thing, but actually showing is a huge form of care, of genuineness. So even when it comes to adults having adult conversation, having your arms crossed, your tone is flat. Oh no, you're somebody who has yet to actually deal with your own emotions. There's pride there. You don't know how to own your accountability, what you've done. So there's a lack of accountability, and again, that's a whole other topic that I can talk about another day, because accountability is a big part of why people have bad relationships, because some people have grown up not having an example of what accountability looks like in a household. So that's a whole other conversation. Then here's this one. This is a parent encouraging a child. Y'all forgive me of this typo, okay? So a lot. Let's see if this is a line. So the message here is, you did a great job on your project, and the nonverbal cue with the verbal message says that the parent maintains eye contact, leans in slightly, smiles warmly, and pats the child on the back. Now, me as a teacher, I give my children hugs, I give them high fives, I give them fist bumps, and I look them in the eye, and I'm on their level. Even when I'm redirecting them, I'm correcting them, I'm always at their level. I'm never above them. We're at their level, talking to them. If they're taller than me, I'm bringing them down to my level where I'm at, and we're having a conversation. Because eye contact, again, lets the other person know that you are engaged, that you are genuine, that you care, okay, that you mean what you say. You mean business, all right? So even children. So this right here is aligned communication, because the parent clearly use eye contact. They use gentleness and their words to match what they're saying. Very important that your actions match your words, because oftentimes that type of a person is trustworthy and they mean what they say. Please make sure you are aligned with the words that you are having to come out your mouth. Very, very important. Now, why is it so important? Again, it enhances clarity and understanding. It builds strong emotional connections and intelligence, and it increases trust and rapport in relationships. Very, 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 very important. Do you have rapport, good rapport? Do you have trust? These are the things, simple things that we could change in how we communicate based on our nonverbal cues. You can use this application in your romantic relationships, your friendships, with your colleagues, and with your family. So I'm really big on using nonverbals in every area of my life. Okay, and so people are drawn to me because I am an open person. I am a genuine person. I care about what I do. Here's an activity that you can do on your own with your family, your team, whoever's watching this video, well, maybe with a friend. You may want to pair up, record yourself speaking, and observe your body language. And then identify any conflict signals, saying I'm happy when I frown. Like, I want you to really dig deep. Like, maybe just do some role playing, okay, and adjust your nonverbal cues to better reflect your intended message. Okay, so you may want to talk to your friend and just do some role play to see how you feel, because again, that's going to help you improve your area of nonverbal. Okay, because again, you want to make sure your verbal matches your nonverbal when there's conflict that may arise. Okay, personally or professionally. So I'm gonna wrap up here because I've been on here a little longer than I was supposed to be. But I just wanted to again, your nonverbal communication is 93% of what you say without saying it. Okay, your nonverbal cues speaks louder than your words. Period. And be intentional about your nonverbal cues and transform your relationships in the way that they should go. All right. So I do have a reflection journal that I'm still working the kinks out on. So y'all have to bear with me with that. But I hope you guys took good notes. We played this video. Go back, see what, if you want to use the activity, do some role play with your girlfriend on the phone, just so that you can improve the area of nonverbal communication. In my next video, we're going to be talking about understanding constructive conflict resolution. I don't want to go into a rant about that, but a lot of people, they love to tussle, but they do not know how to solve problems effectively. And we're going to talk about that because it's a big problem in the workplace. So thank you all for your time. Thank you again for giving me the grace to come back on here and to pour into your life. Again, if you don't know who I am, my name is Shantanique Langston. I am your personal and professional relationship coach. I'm also the creator of the Relationship Conference, and you have watched another episode of Beyond Advice podcast on communication in the area of nonverbal cues. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Until then, stay blessed.